Everybody, welcome back. Still got a little bit of a cold here, so bear with me a little bit. But this video, another Marvel Future Revolution video, this is going to start with something that I was going to call this, well, probably it's going to be called, this is the rework this now about a certain aspect in the game, which we'll dive into. But I have a feeling it's going to dovetail into some other issues, like wholesale issues that I have with the game that I'm also hearing from other people, given some recent news of other games coming. So I want to say I do really like this game. I like the gameplay. There's some aspects of it that I want to dive into. I've talked about a lot of these before, some of them I haven't, but this video is going to be part of that. Netmarble, please, I don't know your internal game plan, how you're working through stuff, but you got a good base here, and please address some of these things. I want to see people stick around. I've seen too many leave, and I hope you got a Grandmaster plan to bring some of these people back, because there is a lot of fun here. So anyway, let's if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below, hammer on like buttons, all that sort of thing, and let's get to this.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so what the original video was meant to be about was rework this now, cores. Nothing that you should be surprised about. It's really about this system here. You can see I've got some 5s in here. To get a 6, it's a 10% chance, and it's pretty the gold cost isn't that bad, but losing this much convergium, I have a ton of convergium, as you can tell. So for me, it's not too bad, but I literally constantly for months have been AFK farming this stuff, where I just make sure that I dismantle. So I've built up a huge supply of this stuff. But I stopped doing it because the rate on it is just so bad. I'll grab a couple of these in too, and you saw that was 10. I think what is it for these? 20? Yeah, I mean, it's 20 to get to a 5, and I think even from a 3 to a 4, it's like 50%, and almost everything you get in the game is a 3-star. So from the time you're starting, you've got a half chance to get anything good. So I'm hoping they rework this system. I stopped opening my core boxes, whatever you want to call them, because I just was kind of like, this is terrible. Like, I've got all of these are 3-star, but I'd be spending a large amount of convergium and gold to basically or potentially not get anything back. That feels terrible. I'm okay with some like if you have one aspect like that in a game, okay, that's fine. But there are too many of those aspects in this game where you're just, there's an RNG setup of something where you're not going to get what you want. People eventually will just get burnt out by that. They don't want to keep, there's a small percentage of players that will keep doing it, but I think for the most part, especially when you're trying to lure free-to-play players in, who you need, because they add to the base of players that interact with you, and you need those players. They don't have to be at the end game necessarily, but if they're free-to-play, they have to feel like they're making progression. And with systems like this, you can't. And all of these are basically 2 stars. You're not going to get anywhere with those either. You'll get a couple that'll fail, but I think for the most part you'll get 3s. So in my humble opinion, I think that you definitely need to you being Netmarble need to rework that sort of thing like immediately. I don't know. I mean, look, I keep talking about the metrics of the game. How many people are staying, what they're doing, how much they're spending. Maybe the metrics are showing different than what I believe, but as far as I'm aware, I think that there's a lot more people who are frustrated than not. So it's kind of, by the way, I'm looking for cores and seeing which character are under, if you're wondering what I'm doing in the background. And I think this is a way to start. I don't think it's the final thing that they need to do, but I think it's one thing that needs work. This is where this video starts dovetailing into my where I thought it might kind of go into. And this is just sort of a general, what's going on with the game. I've seen a lot of people sort of get frustrated with the aspect of the game fodder. I saw something this morning based on somebody seeing something coming out in another game that they feel like they came here for an MMO, a single player MMO, and now they're being forced to build an entire squad, or like more of a hero collector, which is not what they wanted. And frankly, I don't blame them. Personally, I would be lying to you if I told you that's something other than what I wanted, meaning I wanted that same thing. I came to this game wanting to find which character I wanted to build and play, and be excited about playing that character, and just really sort of dive in. Here we go. And we don't have, we have that to an extent, but the way that the game is shifting, it seems to be going a different direction. And I don't think that's a great idea. Now, I have been saying, where's the rest of the fodder? Like, if you're going to do this, you need to, give us the fodder that we need to actually feel like it's not, an insane thing to build up. I have not seen that yet. And now that I'm seeing these other people talk about these other games, going, I don't know if I'm going to keep going, guys. And these are people who've spent a lot of money. These are people who have been pretty committed to the game for a long time and really, really enjoyed it. But they're just to the point now where they're thinking, this is not what I wanted from an MMO. And this isn't even talking about, I'm not even diving into the fact that like raid, if you really think about it, raids, blitz, and even alliance raids are all essentially the same thing in just different, setups. It's the same. I like alliance raid. I think they did a good job with that. I thought it would be a little bit different. Honestly, I thought it would be, us sort of working together through a crawler, a dungeon crawler, which is what I want in an MMO. And maybe I'm missing something there. Is that not like a basis of a MMO? But these folks are, really getting to the point where it's, they're just, I don't want to say they're done, but they're talking like that. And I mean, someone even mentioned bait and switch with their MMO single player versus now meaning to build up a squad. They're like, I don't want to build up a squad. I don't, and it's like, okay. So we'll get back to that in a second. So this, again, 100% chance, 15, fine. That's, no big deal. I can do that. I'll get my 2. Great. You know what I mean? Now, I don't love using that converging, but whatever. And then this one, it immediately goes, it's like a 30% drop. It's like, oh, okay. And you're using one of the greens. What do I get? Okay. Like, that's ridiculous. And then you get the 50% chance. And so I'm lighting all of this on fire. So this is just to get to 3-star or to 4-star. Hey, I actually got the 4-star. Look at that. And a good one too. I like the crit rate. So while that worked there, you saw that it cannot work at 70%. So when you get up to these 30% or 20% rather, and 10%, people aren't going to do it. So anyway, let's jump back to this other larger concept, because I think this is more important. We got these game modes in here. And again, I like the basis of the game. Blitz, and Raid are prior to Alliance Raid where you're, well, I guess Spec Ops too. Spec Ops is different. Like that is an actual game mode where people go in there and have a mission to do something. It's a little bit different, but it's just something to do there. Now, maybe I know a lot of people who actually don't like running Spec Ops, and maybe that's why Netmarble is saying we don't want to make a crawler because we've got a mini crawler in Spec Ops and people don't play that game mode. Like there's a lot of people who just don't play it. Now I play it every day, every week to try to rank as high as I can because, and you should, it's the only way, where's the rewards here? Here we go. It's the only way to get fodder for costumes. So you want to do that. So I would do it every week. Now, anyway, so that is a sort of a PvE crawler-ish. Battle challenge is just something where it's a little different. It's a combination between what you got for Blitz and Raids and Spec Ops in my mind solo. But in Blitz and Raids, you enter a ring, you fight a boss for a quick amount of time. Boss has different set abilities. Now we've got Alliance Raids, same thing, where it's kind of like, okay, I go in here, I enter a spot, and I fight it with my teammates. Now, I personally think it's fun because it's kind of like, okay, I can come in here with an alt, and what size is this one? 520k, and do something with my teammates. Now, you can see we're level 6 and it's 520k. So, when I'm looking at here, let's actually do it. Yeah, let's do it this way. Unless you have the proper fodder to do that, it's kind of like, okay, now some of these guys I don't have anything on. That's why they're so low. I could probably go around and drop something on some of them, but you can see it ranges. Iron Man's the only one that I actually put some work into. Star-Lord as well. He's got a full Sakaar set, but it is not easy to do that. And I think a lot of people are frustrated with that fact. Now, we're going to jump to a different screen and I'm going to read something from one of these other games. You'll probably figure out which one it is that they're doing that allows class changes. And we're going to read through this. And I think this is something that Netmarble might want to learn to lean into. I could be wrong, but I have a huge fear that we're going to lose even more people here in the next couple months because of stuff like this. So let's check this out. All right. Class change. Character progress, and I'm going to read some of this, so bear with me. It says the name of the game right here, so whatever. You guys, it's Diablo Immortal. So, it's incredibly important when you play games in the MMO genre, you're focused on unlocking new abilities for your character. I didn't say characters, and keeping up with other players on your server. However, Diablo games always feature a rich variety of classes, similar to how MFR is. A lot of different classes with different play styles and fantasies. Okay, I like that. This leads to a conflict. You want to play every class, but you don't want to hinder your character's progress to try them all. That is exactly what we have here now in Future Revolution, except for the fact that it's not necessarily something the players want to do. It's something that the game is sort of pushing on us with the game modes that we have. With squad battles coming and Alliance Raid, is you're encouraged to bring these different classes up. So they say, how can you do both? Their solution, and they're talking about arriving shortly after it launches. What does that mean? I've played games long enough now. That was a huge red flag to me when I first saw this. Huge. I was like, what does shortly after mean? You know what I mean? And so they're doing class change, but let's work past that for a second. So in whatever West March, you'll be able to change your existing character to a new class and a new visual customization. When you change your class, you'll retain all your progress on your Paragon levels. So basically, let me keep going. You'll receive a new set of equipped items appropriate to your new class, and you can transfer all of your item progress and gems to them. None of your old items or stash will be lost. And your progress on vessels and something else will stick around too. So you're basically keeping your progress. They do talk about how you'll need to start collecting legendary items specific to your character. So there is something that you need to do specific within each one. In the case of MFR, I would say that's your enhanced potential. So, or maybe your specializations, like, okay, those are specific per each toon, fine, because you can't transfer that over. But the journey is part of the fun of playing, and I would agree with that. If you regret the choice, you can activate the class chain feature again, returning to your original class or exploring other new classes you haven't yet played. When you return to a class, you'll revert to the visual customization you chose previously and equip your previous legendary items, so you don't lose those legendaries that you have. We didn't want to force our players into the hard choice of giving up progress on their main character to support an alt. And that right there is the biggest thing. Is like that concept is really what this is about for MFR, is that for me specifically, I want to build up Rise of the Eastbound Widow because she's anywhere from 1.5 to 1.7 depending on the game mode. But if I do that, that means I don't have the fodder to build up some of my alts for these other game modes. But I'm like, I didn't play this game to build up a squad. This is not a hero. I didn't want to play Hero Collector. You know, I've played those. I play those. Like, that game's over there for me. You know, if I want that. We also didn't want anyone to feel obligated to keep a roster of all characters to gather rewards and resources, or to match the shifting demands of leaderboards, other competitive systems. Class chain gives you the freedom to explore classes that you get from multiple alts, but without any of these downsides. It also allows you to give full rewards to each character. So anyway, it goes on a little bit. You get the idea. Just this morning, I've been watching people because of this announcement. This is an older one, but there was a YouTube thing that's come out for this game. Look, now Marble, I'm talking to you. I like this game. I like the gameplay of this game. You guys really, really, really need to figure something out. You need to pick your direction here, because one of the people told me this morning, like, they're like, I've constantly been like trying to support and stay within this game, but they keep getting disappointed with the changes. And they said that there's a chance that when this game comes out, they could be done. This is a high-level player who's, like I said, spent a bunch of money. He's active in the Alliance leadership, and this is the way they're talking. They're very much into this game. They've switched characters in MFR, but they're to the point where it's now kind of like they're not sure if they want to keep doing it. So this is my plea to you, Netmarble. Yes, rework cores now. Yes, do that. That is absolutely what my intent was for making this video. But as these things happened this morning and I read them, I was like, I have to integrate this into my video. I have to. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. And I understand that development is hard and doing all these things is hard and you got to make money. I get it. Based on my small sample size of people in my server, you know, like world chat, it tends to, you know, be way less active. It used to be, you know, nonstop, where it would just be like people in here not like constantly talking, just over and over and over and over and over and over and over, to the point where it would be like if somebody said something, they'd immediately get a troll or is fighting, whatever. So in seeing things, it makes me feel like the game is losing players. Hey, Lucifer, thank you for replying. I appreciate you. So, I don't know. This is my plea to you. I don't know what else to say, honestly. Like, I just please find a way, yes, to rework cores. The RNG in the game, people don't like to spend so much time and money to feel like, and I guess this is where I'll sort of end things a little bit, is so this badge. It's not a great badge. It's a decent badge. I finished my invasion last night to get just enough seals to get to +4. In the cores, they're I get a yellow and it's bad. I can't use that on Widow. And guess what? I want to build, I mean, yeah, I can move this to another toon who probably doesn't have the fodder to do anything, but I was bummed. I was kind of like, I spent all that time on invasion, and you know, where I got another badge, it's right here. This was the one badge I got. Oh wait, yeah, I'll have to get a better core for that one. I'm like, I really only have a 4-star for a crit rate there. I'll have to work on that. This one was decent, so I got that one. This one was the other one that I got. This was the only one I was able to build from scratch. I had 3 others that I built up where they got, this was the only one that got cooldown. The other 2 got the HP or defense, whatever it was up here. And so I didn't build them up too much past that. Actually, at all past that. And then this was my last one that I got, where I got the cooldown decrease. I was pretty happy with the all gauge recovery. Figured range damage decrease could be decent. And I just, you know, and I don't have enough seals to build it to 5 to get that last try. You know, I've got 19 seals. So anyway, we're talking about RNG and, you know, not feeling bad about it. That's what I'm talking about, you know. And again, it's been 3 minutes and I had 1 response and, you know, a couple people saying something completely different. This is my world chat right now. It's been 3 minutes of me just doing that. It was a mini test. I mean, I've had to, let's see, this should be actually, oh, no, I got to clean this up again. So, you know, anytime this happens, I'm kind of like, all right, and these are people, these are friends. This guy's a friend. You know, this guy's a friend too. I know he's taking a break from the game and sort of not playing as much, but you know, it's kind of like, okay, I need to find people who, I don't want to have to do that. And I've been having to do that more often. So, you know, I'm going to friend request pork leg. Please accept. All right, that's all I got. I know this is a random video like that, but it's a plead. So, new to the channel, like I mentioned, Discord link in the description below. I've been talking about the membership stuff. You know, feel free to check that out if you want to help support the channel. Did a bunch of different levels. Hammer down like buttons, click notification bell, subscribe, all that sort of thing. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.